ground. Lonely but free I'll be found, drifting along with the tumbling tumbleweed.
Silver Dollar and Tularemia. I dragged my feet slowly toward our house in Escalante, knowing each step was taking me towards being beat within an inch of my life, maybe even to my own death. "What took you so long?" Mother asked, as I walked in and sat the groceries on the table. "You should have been back an hour ago." Was all I got out, and I ran to the bedroom crying. I hid my head in the covers, dreading the truth I had to tell. "What's ailing you, Orion?" Mother asked, following me. I lost it," I said, looking her straight in the eyes. "Lost what?" Mother asked. The dollar. The silver dollar Father asked me to hand you." "How could you do that?" she yelled. "You know money doesn't grow on trees." "I had it in my hand, and it slipped out, and it was gone. I tried to find it," I replied, inching away from her. Are you going to hit me?" I asked in a quivering voice. "No, but your pa just might," she grumbled. No, don't tell Father, Lottie cried. "He gets awful mean when he gets upset with Orion." Hoping beyond hope, Lottie and even Lorene and I searched for the vanished treasure that might just save my life. But to no avail. Father was waiting for me by the woodshed. "Get out here, Orion," he growled, his voice low and foreboding. "Strip down," he ordered before I could get across the yard. "Everything?" I asked, as my small frame shook uncontrollably. That day I knew again what it felt like to be whipped to within an inch of my life. The flame of hate and anger toward my father was kindled once again. "Bad news," Ma said a few days later as I brought fresh wood in for the cook stove. "What's happened now?" I asked, longing for one day without a calamity in the Escalante Valley, especially if it involved me. "The jackrabbits have tularemia," Ma exclaimed. "What's that?" Lottie asked, looking up from playing with the rag dolls Ma had made for the girls. Lottie was using them to entertain her sisters. "It's a rotten disease that the rabbits have caught," Ma said. "Can we get it?" Lorene asked. "Yes," Ma said, kind of muttering under her breath. "Like smallpox?" I asked. "I don't know much about it," Ma replied, "but we do need to try and rid our valley of them, all the surrounding places, including John Valley, too." "That scares me," Lottie said, her voice trembling. "The menfolk will figure it out," Ma said. "Try not to worry. Scrub your hands and stay away from any animal you can." "What about the cow's tits?" I queried. "We need her milk." "We'll wash them down when we milk her," Ma said. "But right now we need to eat supper and get ready for bed. I'm so tired I think I'll fall asleep standing up if I close my eyes." "Can you put some more lard tallow salve and the olive oil mix on my back?" I asked. "It's really been hurting." "Orrin, try not to be so careless when and if I send you to the store with money again," she replied. "I'll go with him. I'll be in charge of the money," Lottie piped in. "Me too," Lorene said, hoping she might get a sweet treat. I cried out in agony as Ma began to gently rub the ointment on my swelling back and legs. "But Ma," I asked, "why does he whip me like he's trying to tame a wild stallion? Vane never gets beaten like I do." Ma sighed. "He's like a furious madman sometimes. I don't know what ails him. I wish he wasn't my father," I sobbed. My sweet sisters looked at me with big tears in their eyes. A day or so later, many of the available townfolk came out in droves to exterminate the poor, defenseless, sick rabbits. "Come on, Orion," Father said as he lifted me up on the back of his horse. "We'll head over to Father's ranch. We'll go with him." Still hurting, I bit my lip, trying not to cry out, as I winced from the pain still radiating from my bruised back. Once we got to my grandparents' house, I slid down off the rump of the horse and quickly made myself out of bounds from my father, close to the safety of my grandmother. Vase sauntered out of the barn and threw me a ripe plump apple. "Are you ready to have some fun?" he asked. "Are you?" I replied. "This won't be like any other hunts," Grandfather warned. "You boys better mind your P's and Q's." This tularemia is a deadly disease for rabbits and humans, too. Listen to your elders, Grandmother cautioned. I heard tell one of the boys around here is taken ill, as he handed Vay and me a large sandwich with slivers of beef and pickles on it. And don't touch your hands to your face after you eat that, Father said, handing us each some delicious taffy. Thanks, Vay said. My mouth's already watering to eat this. My head down, not looking in my father's eyes, I muttered, thanks. I wanted the wonderful treat, yet I hated the man handed it to me. We tromped along with sticks and shovels, hoes and such, watching rabbits skittering before us in confusion and fright. It seemed like most of the day, us younger ones were cautioned constantly by one adult or another. I muttered, feels like we're on a death march, like they talked to us about in World War I. I felt the pain of my scratched-up, bleeding calves rubbing painfully against my overalls. You better believe it, Father said. Better these creatures than we catch it from them. The slaughter continued for hours. I don't remember exactly how the menfolk disposed of the dead rabbits. Vay and I and others were sent home early, for which I was grateful. My back felt like it was on fire at times. You think they'll burn 'em, or even bury 'em? I asked Vay, as we passed pile after pile of dead rabbits. I don't know, but Father told me to stay away from here till he tells me different. As Vay and I started to mount the horse, I said, I'll sit in back of you. What? I usually have to fight you for the front, he said. Father gave me a dreadful thrashing, I replied with a catch in my voice. I pulled my shirt up to show him, frowning in discomfort. Mother will treat it with her special concoction when we get back, Vay said. Don't tell, I replied. Mother was as mad as Father was. She didn't hit me, but she just as well have. No wonder you lagged along like a sick puppy, Vay replied grimly. Was it about that silver dollar you lost? I tried to find it, I said. I could help you try again, Vay said. I said, I do think I know where I lost it, and I perked up a bit. We tried, but we never located it. I've often wondered if someone found it. If so, I hope they really needed it.
I know when night has gone that a new world's born at dawn. I'll keep rolling along. Deep in my heart is a song.